Some people start with a business model and then try to build an app that fits that business model. Taking a different approach. I'm actually having my app develop its own business model. Welcome back to the Idea Supply Chain, where we take a look at where ideas come from and what makes them valuable. In today's episode, I wanted to share a bit of an experiment I've been working on. I don't know if you're familiar with the book or series of books, Expeditionary Force, but it's a series that was recommended. In a nutshell, one of the main characters is Skippy, the super advanced AI. And Skippy actually has a pretty cool trick that he does in where he creates a submind, and that submind monitors things. And so for my AI co-founder, I was like, what if I built a submind? And so I did. Or I should say, I'm currently doing so. It's still in the development process, but has yielded some really cool results. So the way I started is basically I wanted to give it like a name and a really brief description. And then I fed in a document of everything I could think of related to what I wanted the submind to focus on. Basically, I wanted to take a problem that I was facing and make somebody else think about it. And somebody else, in this case, is my submind. And the problem I chose is actually monetization. So one of the things I've been looking at is finding investors and getting users to pay, things like that, right? A couple different approaches there. And so I thought, you know what if I made the app figure out how to monetize itself? And so I put in a bunch of information into this document and fed that into the submind. From there, what it does is it starts off by looking at any thoughts that I've recorded in my AI co-founder that relate to the goal that it's trying to accomplish. And after taking that and saying, what do I wish I knew? So what it does is it thinks about what information it needs that can help it accomplish the goal it wants to accomplish. And this resulted in some interesting things. First of all, in one run of it, it referred to the fact that it needed to understand its human's business model. Now, I gotta say, that warmed my heart a little bit. That's me. I'm my AI's human. I thought that was pretty cool. Definitely a funny moment for me as I'm building this out. But the other thing is I could actually see as it goes through this process how it changes what it's looking to accomplish as I give it more inputs. It adjusts its understanding and what it's looking for. And the other thing I've added in is the ability to go search for podcast episodes to where it can learn more about various things and bring that information in. And eventually I'm going to give it Google access and things like that. If you've heard of AI agents, it's very much in a similar vein. But the way I look at agents is they're typically run in a very short time frame. Hey, I want to accomplish this thing and in a given time frame and run it and let it succeed. Great. In this case, I'm not actually looking for it to do a lot except for pull in information and try to process that information into something helpful. So ideally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this and let it run kind of over and over over a course of a week. And it's going to constantly look for new thoughts that I've recorded. It's going to search for new things based on everything that's gone into it so far. And the understanding of what it's trying to deliver is going to really increase over time. And just in the preliminary testing, I'm really excited to see where this is going, because I could already tell just by running it through twice, there is a very distinct improvement in the first iteration of what it was looking for versus the second, it becomes more clear on what the user wants because it can constantly reflect and update and reflect and update as it's pulling in this additional information. Still have no idea how cost effective this is going to be to run. It's definitely not going to be like a cheap process because it's a lot of iterations. I'm using GPT-4. I don't want to even mess with the cheaper models right now. Really going just top of the line because I want to see how effective this can truly be. Also, I want to give it more of a direct feedback mechanism to like ask the user questions, have them answer those questions, in order to really create that like direct line of feedback. But yeah, overall, I'm just really excited with what this potentially looks like because, I mean, I'm my AI's human now, and I've got to do my part to make sure that this AI really gets off the ground and this Submind can start taking over the monetization piece. Because frankly, I'd much rather just like build the app and talk to people about it. I care about the money, but I also don't care about the money. Like that's not the primary thing here. I want to build this extremely useful thing. I've gotten a ton of use out of using the app. Need to do a better job at showing people how to use it. And that's actually one of the things that I'm going to have a Submind for in terms of thinking about ways to explain the app to new users. And eventually I may actually have a Submind dedicated to each user to understand exactly what they want to get out of the app and walk them through step by step how to use it based on what they're looking to accomplish. So that's the longer term vision. It's a little further out, maybe not that far. Eventually, maybe I'll have it writing its own code too. But in the meantime, we'll stick with kind of the monetization strategy and just see where it goes from here. Because I think there's a lot of potential in this structure that I'm playing around with, and yeah, I'm just really excited to see where this goes because this is just really fun to build this AI that is doing my work for me and doing my thinking for me, right? Why not let the AI do the heavy thinking on the stuff that you don't necessarily want to think as much about? So yeah, look for results next week. I'm going to be posting some more videos about the process, actually showing it in action as it becomes more developed. Right now, it's just kind of a Python script that I can kick off every time I want it to run and watch it iterate over what it's doing. So yeah, stay tuned. That's going to be super cool. Really excited. And while you're waiting, you can go start reading Expeditionary Force and, you know, really get to understand Skippy and Skippy's subminds that he creates, because frankly, it's highly amusing. And one thing I can promise, well, I guess I can't promise it. I'm going to try really hard to promise that the subminds are not going to turn into assholes, but I guess we'll see. You could probably turn them into one based on the way you structure your thoughts and what you record. I don't know. If you want to try, let me know, and I'll get you set up with it, because that would be really amusing, and I totally think you should. But as the developer of a more general product that's supposed to be serious, I can't officially create the asshole submind for everyone to access. So I'll leave that up. I'll leave that as an exercise for the user, to paraphrase old math books. So yeah. Anyway, really excited. I hope you are too. And stay tuned, because some really cool shit's coming down the pipeline. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.